Well, thing is that none of the clients are the same. Especially, you have one old phrase which everybody is taking when they're talking to you. We are not like other companies.
Welcome to Systems with Laura, the podcast where we explore the tools, systems, and strategies behind successful businesses. This episode of Systems with Laura is brought to you by Proprium, business workflow and automation agency. If you're building a service-based business and you're overwhelmed by operations, automations, or choosing the right tools, this is exactly what Proprium helps with. Proprium builds systems that help you save time, reduce repetitive work, and scale without chaos. Learn more at proprium.agency. Today, I'm excited to welcome Nenad Kostć, a leading Croatian expert in digital marketing and a certified HubSpot CRM consultant. Nenad is the founder of Bones, a digital marketing agency specializing in HubSpot CRM implementation and optimization for micro, small, and medium-sized businesses. With a background in graphic engineering and years of experience in the printing and graphic industries, Nenad pivoted into digital marketing and CRM systems, where he's been helping companies transform their operations across marketing, sales, and customer service. Through consulting, workshops, and webinars, he teaches clients how to maximize HubSpot's potential, from defining buyer personas, segmenting content, and applying inbound strategies, to setting up automation, designing landing pages, and creating sales sequences. Nenad's deep hands-on understanding of business models allows him to act not just as a consultant, but as a true partner in driving client success. So let's dive into his journey, his systems thinking, and his best advice on making CRM tools work for you. I want to welcome Nenad. Hi, and thank you for being my guest today.
Hi, Laura. Thank you very much for inviting me. Gosh, you made me such an intro that you melted me into a pile of pudding.
Well, I have to say this just proves that you're a marketing expert, because both me, AI, and me just digging around basically found all of this. So, it has to be true. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to kind of teach us a lot of those things today. I'm really looking forward to our conversation. So, I know your backstory a little bit, but I'm wondering if you can tell, to the audience basically about your background, and how did you go from graphic engineering to running a digital marketing and CRM consultancy? That's a huge leap, and I'm wondering how you did that.
Oh, thanks. Well, thing is that I couldn't concern that as a huge leap, although my basic tool in back days in when I was a printer was computer and running in software on a daily basis. So technically, this was the closest thing to switch. But years ago, I ended up with technology. I was studying with graphic technology on Faculty of Graphic Science and Arts in Zagreb, and I ended up in as a bachelor engineer. Thing is that my father ran a print shop, so this is some kind of logical following up that I will end up into the print shop as well. Besides, my brother was in print shop. So we basically started with the family business. First of all, that was back in 70s, something like small manufacturer, and which was closely specialized with business cards. Something like if you've been watched American Psycho, with there is a scene with handing over the business cards, and the one which has raised letters won. So we were specialized in this printing technique. And soon after, especially after the war, we switched something into the more commercial printing and publishing, and ended up with 60 employees, 3 shifts, and around 70% of export. Thing is that graphic industry, back in those days, graphic industry was well put, and we didn't have any needs for sales reps. So the business just, and new orders just came up by itself, by some kind of inertia. That was great up till 2010, when ended up with a crisis and a recession. So everything that after that, just we went bankrupt because we couldn't have any kind of selling system, and we didn't know how to sell. So that was a major problem why I needed to look for another sphere of business. So that was the long story short. And thing is that while I was Googling what will be most suitable for me, I found out among website building or something like that, I found out many of resources giving away for free from HubSpot. Everything was addressed and claimed to HubSpot. HubSpot this, HubSpot that. Okay, so I started to dig in and see what they are giving all. And after that, I found out that is all about the platform, which is basically built around CRM. And while I was investigating, studying about it, I got a picture that is something that back in the days that when I was a printer and running the complete sections inside of the working operations in print shop, this is something that I needed, and this is the main reason I put myself into the decision that is something that I want to do it. I want to study this. I want to share this to people and give them a hand to make a better business progress. That's all about the HubSpot.
It seems like you basically were trying to solve the issue you encountered in the previous business, and then that led you to a whole new, different entrepreneurial journey, I would say, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Thing is that I was looking for something. I started to build websites in a time when WordPress was 2.0, but I even created one website which was placed number 1 on Google sites, ranking Google in less than 4 months, but it was that was 15 or 16 years ago. So thing is that at the time when I was looking for another new opportunities, everything was already fulfilled with marketing agencies, building website builders or something like that. So I was figuring out, okay, this is completely fulfilled, and not, it's rather difficult to find myself, to position myself on that kind of market. And HubSpot made sense in 2 ways. First was the free academy, which is guided by the eminent teachers and have a very nice, detailed program of studying. And everything is put and organized inside of HubSpot, like they care for you. So this is something that attract me on their program. And soon after, when I discovered the possibilities what HubSpot can do it, I put myself into the program to become a solution partner for here.
So I feel like HubSpot, in a way, understands the sales process, understands businesses, and the way they operate really is focused on the customer. I've had a similar experience with encountering so many free resources over the years. When I started my company, I needed to understand how to write a blog post. So I'm Googling, and here it is, like 10 different ways of different blog posts. There's a template, you can download it. Here are more guides, here are some other topics. So they kind of cover a lot of things, and their SEO is extremely strong. But you must have encountered other CRMs. What made HubSpot, the click for you, other than the free resources, the community? What kind of what changed when you started using that, so you were sure this is it, this is the software that I really want to stand behind?
No, well, it's not about the other CRMs. It's about the tools, because from very beginning, HubSpot started to present itself as a platform. So this is a bunch of tools which you need for quality doing stuff in marketing, sales, and customer service in particular. Thing is that I didn't know about CRM at all. Nothing. I was using a notebook, Excel spreadsheets, and that's it. And he attracted me with all those connectivity between tools which they have, and bring all the information into the one on one place. Over the time, I figured out what is the distinctive difference between HubSpot and other CRMs. Thing is, when you buy, let's say, invoicing program or software, you have a kind of CRM inside of it. If you're doing something inside as a project software, something like that, you have a CRM inside of it. So the definition of the CRM is very basic. It's just a software who collecting some kind of infos which are useful for you. HubSpot started its career firstly as a software for a marketing mail, something like MailChimp. And they admitted that it was a very lousy and bad software. But soon after, they're trying to upgrade everything about it, and figuring out that from that kind of software, create a CRM. So this is a different approach. They have beginning of the business cycle as a starting point for creating a CRM. Everybody else are doing the opposite thing. From the end of the business process, you need to gather at the end of the cycle all those informations. So thing is that everybody gets tired on the end of the business cycle to bring the information into the CRM. And if you are looking from the very start, if you detect who your leads are, the criteria of qualifying for the next level leads, when they become customers, when they become clients, and when they become ambassadors, it's completely another thing. And especially in these days when you can automate everything, you can force HubSpot as a CRM to automatically gather those informations, and from the very beginning it segmented it from defined criteria. So I believe this is the major point, the major advantage of HubSpot on market. as a CRM.
Do you encounter a lot of people still resisting, even in 2025, the idea of having a CRM and sticking with spreadsheets, or no?
Well, they are mostly afraid. What they are afraid of is learn another new stuff. This is the something that brings hair upwards head to most of them. Thing is that I'm trying to bring them an approach that it's not so bad. There are some things to learn, but they are unexpectedly small amount. So basically, basic thing is that I want to promote to people the other stuff. That CRM is something that you shouldn't afraid of because it's a really nice tool that brings you more free time for yourself. Because arranging and using it on daily basis, especially in work time, create it really rocketing you with the speed, with achievement. You're achieving a lot more in working hours than without CRM. That's definitely.
And especially if you have a longer sales cycle, that's mainly for service-based businesses. You really need to remember the details. You can't just hop on a call with somebody after a few weeks and not remember their name. If you have another team member that's working on that account, they need to know that there was a call in the past. And it's really hard to kind of get that connectivity with a spreadsheet. I think spreadsheets are a great start where when you are still, figuring out as a small business, like what are we doing? What is our sales cycle? And CRM is there when you already understand basically, or you're beginning to start to understand these are our things. This is our recipe that we are working on. That's basically, working for us. And then CRM makes that much easier on a bigger scale. It helps you, it removes the mental load, I would even say, because I know for myself, when I open my list, I don't have to remember everything and I can just forget after I finish with my day. And then when I open my system, I can just see these are the 5 people I need to follow up with. This was something that we talked about last. And with all the technology, I think you're probably gonna agree with this, even with AI, recording tools that provide transcription of the calls and all of that. It's not meant to replace the human in the sales cycle. It's meant to give you, like you said, more time, more freedom, and to create more meaningful relationships with your clients. So, do you see that in the same way? What is your kind of thought process on the advancements that are also coming to these systems?
Yeah, I have rather the same opinion like you do. Thing is that it's not about the CRM, it's not about the system, it's more about people who are doing it. You have to be aware that we have a mixture of the generations as a working force. And the thing is that, well, let's put on this that people who are 20 plus years in business have different methods and different systems and are heavier to learn new stuff than the youngest one. And when you trying to balance the communication between them, usually don't make any progress in a business field. Your business won't be in progress. So thing is that if you put all of this in a human factor, the first and the most important thing is to try to explain to people that they really can save the time if they just put in play the connectivity with and synchronizing the data with CRM. When started to do this, they are usually being amazed and a bit ashamed why they didn't give an opportunity to try this earlier. But as you mentioned, especially in the businesses which have got a very long sales cycle, to put all those information in one place, people are usually imagining, okay, I need to stay at work at Friday 2 afternoon and then typing in all the notes of the meetings which I had or something like that. They're just knowing that AI exists somewhere over the videos in social media channels, and that's it. And after that, they're trying to figuring out how they escape from overwhelming, but after a while they are still standing inside of that trouble, in that problem. So the most logical way is, before I even start to talk about CRM, what it can help, is to address the problems where they are stuck with in their sales process, in their business process, how they use it, what type of information are grabbing it, in a what way, and after that, just figuring out what they really need and tailor the CRM to their needs. This is I believe this is the best thing I can help them, and this is the best way they accept something new.
I agree. And I think that ties into understanding, kind of before even thinking about software, what is sales. I don't think entrepreneurs understand, especially when they're starting, how much of time are they going to spend selling, right? How much
Yeah,
they're going to spend like looking for potential clients, thinking about a fit, qualifying them, honing in on their offer and all of those things. I remember when I started, well, I mean, I was 26. What did I know at that point? I was fresh out of university, and I was like, everybody's just going to call me, just put the website and then magically clients, right? I mean, we did have a client that did call us in the first month, which was amazing. But at the end of the day, you really have to not just sit and wait and for people to know that you exist. You really have to go and be like, hi, this is what I do, this is what I offer, in a nice human way. And I think that sales is a win-win process. So I'm solving a problem for you, and we are basically doing this together. And you're gonna have value after the problem is solved, and I can continue to help more people. I feel that especially in our kind of region, Central Eastern Europe, I think that sales is still a bad word, and that people kind of get scared about talking about sales and they don't want to do it. And that's how their business kind of struggles a little bit. So, from the perspective of you having a successful company that was based on referrals and now having a successful company that's based on sales and relationships, what do you think when you compare those, and what could you give as an advice, maybe to a younger version of you, or maybe to somebody that is in a similar position, with things that you know now and you didn't know before?
Oh, I hated sales. I remember the days when when the print shop went bankrupt. I couldn't make myself to go to sales. The salesmen I always illustrated in my mind like a Kirby salesman, knocking on the door, and I'm going to demonstrate you some kind of cleaning up your carpet or something like that. Let me put it on this way: how I imagine my business process. Usually, the complete business process in general. Let's say that marketing is everything: the people culture, the company culture, the very front, the very end of any kind of production or services processes which you have included into your business system. And marketing are not just advertising, content creation, or not everything. Let's say much wider than that. inside of marketing, there is let's say, a dream team, which task is to nail down, to point everything, especially in the end of the game, metaphorically speaking. So this is the sales. And what do? They play at their best only if everything is prepared on the best way you can do it. And basically, when you see other companies, they are dividing marketing and sales with a large and very hard barrier, and which doesn't allow to communicate those two teams. As a matter of fact, it should be a one team, one inside the bigger team. And you have got usually the communication like between Rick and Morty. That's how I imagine marketing team and the sales team, how they communicate. Marketing doesn't prepare proper content nor serves good leads to sales, and sales needs to recover that and repair that and try to get bigger results. And this is the only place in company where are you rewarded by results. So thing is that how to ease to sales, because everybody depends on sales. So you can do it on two ways. First one is to be aggressive, cold calling, annoying, or something like that. And the other one is problem solving, trying to figure out about your ideal client or ideal person, what's bothering him, and can you help it, and in what way you can help it. If you put it on this way, you can put out of the equations any kind of aversive sales technique. So everything is led to simple conversation, trying to reaching out or bring out the idea how can it be done for someone. And this is it. But this is not the whole point of the sales. We have a word here in Croatia, I believe, for after sales. Well, it's not after sales. It's a period when the sales is finished, the service is delivered. What happened next? So the idea is not to get as more customers as you can, but as more ambassadors as you can, because when they are delighted with your service or with your product, they will be delighted and very happy to spread the word about you and your company. And this is something that we are getting us back to basics. And this is the most powerful advertising, to have word of mouth. So if you have someone that speaks in your name about your services, that means that he prepare you a market which you need twice as less efforts and twice as less time to get a new customer into your role play.
I agree with this, and I have to address the marketing and sales. I also am slightly frustrated with that when I work with companies on their business processes and when we implement software as Proprium, is that misunderstanding that sales is part of marketing. It belongs to marketing. It's inside of marketing as a broader term. It's not either or, and they don't seem to see that until we connect that to kind of the results and the goals of the company. Then people understand that. I go a little bit even further, and I want sales to be connected with a team that delivers the service. Because if you don't do that, you have marketing people that are just spreading the message of something they don't understand, since they don't sell it, they don't work with the customer in the calls. So sales didn't kind of implement that. They're not having the gap is not bridged between them. They don't know what they're actually selling through content. And the implementation team, for example, in my case, if they don't communicate with sales, how is sales gonna sell what they don't understand is going to be built? Then you just have a team of people over promising and under delivering. And you have those, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the movies like The Wolf of Wall Street and all of that. You just have this loud team that's just saying stuff so people sign, and then nobody's happy. And I would use two examples. The companies that oversell and are aggressive, just like you mentioned on the cold calling area, they don't provide that step to making you an ambassador. You're just annoyed. You called me during dinner, you're offering me something, and I don't want to take it. And then you have companies like Apple, and I converted fully to their ecosystem, and I very proudly display my MacBook, and I'm so happy to have it, and I love it. And I will always say to somebody, you should switch and you should try using that product, because like you said, both HubSpot and Apple communicate in a way that makes me feel like they know my needs, if that makes sense. And I think that's crucial in sales. And sales is not buy. These are the features. Sales is really a cycle, especially when you are a service-based business. It's not just that you're going to sell them one thing and then they leave. You really want to be there for them to solve their problem for a while. And I'm pretty sure that's your logic also, since you also offer marketing in general. So how do you kind of do that cycle in your own company? How did you kind of solve that for yourself with all of this understanding?
Well, thing is that I'm trying to educate my market first. So try to. I just copy pasted the system like HubSpot did to me, because it works really. I was amazed. Hardly I can tell that I was amazed with somebody's approach like they did it to me, and I even didn't have face to face before they qualified me that I am the guy who is told completely hot about the CRM. So thing is that I have the same approach. I want to give my ideal client something to learn, to be informed about all those pain points and problems which they can have during the sales cycle or business cycle. And after that, I'm trying to when they contact me, I'm trying to solve their problem. Well, let's say like medical approach. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions, a huge bunch of questions. It's really a deep dive into the details questionnaire where I'm trying to find out other things of those where potential client brought me out on a meeting, because basically or mostly in those situations problems are lying somewhere else, not in those positions where the client trying to explain what it is. So if you're going to put on this way, in that kind of discovery call or meeting, I'm trying to figure out what they really need to help, and by this I'm tailoring the package of the services which they need to do it, which they actually needed. On the second meeting, I'm usually bring out my proposal with price, and after that we are agree or disagree about this and moving on.
I definitely like how you described it, like a medical approach, because you have to diagnose, you have to understand. And my experience is that clients usually come with challenges such as I don't have enough time, my sales is not happening, the conversion is not there, I don't know what's wrong, I don't know how to find clients. So they usually have statements like that. And if you don't dig deeper, you can't provide a quality service. You really have to discover that, you have to triage it, you have to basically get to the bottom of things, because sometimes what they think might be the issue, you probably find out that it's something else, I would assume, especially when you combine marketing and sales and the knowledge that you have. So do you often have the mismatch between what the client says in the beginning and what you kind of discover later on?
This is something like what you overcome over with practice. Firstly, yes, I totally miss the point with the questions and with my conclusions. But soon after, let's say 20, 25 meetings, you're getting brushing up and getting better and better.
Definitely. And you can already, in the first three sentences, figure out after that much experience, basically, this is what we're going to start with, and then help them and educate them. I also like how you describe that you're educating your target audience, because I do really feel that that's the first step that's necessary. I also feel that's how HubSpot kind of approached their own promotion from the last years, because I feel like I was reading their content for at least 5 years before I seriously started using HubSpot. So that's, I think, a really great example. And I'm wondering, we've mentioned the sales cycle, we've mentioned the CRM, but there is one aspect that you also mentioned a few times, the ideal client. So could you kind of walk us through the ideal client, the buyer personas, all of those tools that kind of help people, but they might not be aware how to use them if they're just starting their business?
Yeah. Well, if you put the complete uh, philosophy about your business, that is everything about the customer, everything is about the client. Ideally, is to start with what your client will look like. Well, it depends in what kind of industry you are. It doesn't matter, of course, if you are not in fashion industry, you don't need to have details that is 2 meters high, blonde hair, blue eyes. But thing is that you need about things about education, geographically where they are standing for, is it the sea coast or a tropical zone or something in inland or something like that, or you need years of experience, role play on the job, or something like that. The industry that you are targeting on. So these are the basic stuff that you needed to frame out your services, and you can usually put some more clear in picture to those men, because you already assumed what pain points do they have and how do you solve them. So ideally is to put out all those characteristic or character lines on a piece of paper, as many as you go, trying to niche down the possibly you can, because if you know all those criterias, it's much easier not just to start with the selling conversation, but it's ending with the closed one. So this is something that you really need to do as a first thing. Second thing, which I found the most important after the creating the buyer persona, is being aware of your mission and vision, business mission and business values 24/7. Really, this is something that is mostly important, because This is your fuel for moving on, for rising up, making growth, and making progress in any part of the business. If you know why you do it, this what you do it. There is no uh, place for suspicions. Will be CRM something that you need or not? You need a system that is building up your information accordingly, put it in all of those places where with the right informations in front of the right people at the right time. This is basically it.
When you look back on all the HubSpot systems that you helped implement and the clients that you have, what are maybe one or two kind of success stories that come to your mind that you're the most proud of, or collaborations?
Well, uh, well, most proudly is something that you are when you build a business architecture about something that is very confidential, and you need to mix up with information that will be saved in cloud, but it needs to be untouchable. How should I say? Out of the reach of any kind outer uh, issues or eyes outside of the company. And I just did it lately. It was some education company where we ran out complete system through HubSpot. This is something that is really handy and really practical.
I can tell that you're having fun doing that also. It kind of, when you're describing how you do it, it kind of feels like you enjoy working with clients and that you're actually having fun on those projects. Is this something that's much more fun than the previous company, or am I wrong?
Well, thing is that none of the clients are the same. Especially, you have one old phrase which everybody is taking when when they're talking to you. We are not like other companies. Partially, it is true because everybody is trying to be unique in some kind of way. But when you during the conversation and pointing on the small details that they are trying to they are not aware of, you can easily build up the system which will work for them. This is something that is very from challenging from one side and timely from the other side, because you need some time. Depends on the complexity of the process, but still it's a great feeling when you win and when you hear wow from the other side. It's something.
Definitely. And I
Yeah.
agree with each business being unique. I've encountered that even when I work with dozens of real estate agencies, for example, they never have the same setup for anything. It's really, even if they have similar services, each company needs to kind of understand that their special recipe really is different, and that their success really is based on some other things than their competitors. I think that also ties into people being, afraid somebody's going to steal their idea. That's, you can't replicate it. It could be one idea that five people do at the same time, and they're not going to ever do it the same. So I think that's also very crucial here. What is your stance on those things?
uh, Thing is that well, from our side, when we are helping build the system to customers, thing is that we have, let's say, engineer approach. We are scanning the situation or learn something about that business, and after that we just look around what we have got of tools, how we can combine them, how we can set them up for work, test and run. This is something that It's something like Lego bricks.
Yeah.
You have some standards, but it's up to you how will you choose the colors and the system of jointing.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering also, as an entrepreneur that understands the importance of working on the business versus in the business, how do you balance that for yourself? How do you, prepare for client work versus when you do your own sales and outreach? And you also do a lot of workshops. You're an educator. So I'm wondering, how do you balance all those roles? Which systems do you use? Which other software do you use in your business?
Yeah. Well, let's say I don't use so many app, softwares or apps. Thing is that HubSpot is connected with my mail, with my phone. Um, I'm I'm quite comfortable to use it in any occasions. So about gathering information, the HubSpot is the number one. Other things that I use are all connected and synchronized with HubSpot, and that's a complete Google suite. I use Workspace for meetings, for video webinars, for sharing all around the channels. So everything is inside. Outside of HubSpot, I use two apps, and one is AI note taker, and which is very handy, beautifully speaks and understands Croatian. That is the most important thing, because I work on Croatian market and region outside of Croatia, like Bosnia, Slovenia, and Serbia, and really take notes in a proper way. So the app is Too Long Didn't View, TLDV. It's a European app. I believe that is someone from guys from Germany created. And the other things is mostly packed inside of the Google and HubSpot. And that's it, really.
If today's episode makes you realize your tools are not supporting your business, Proprium builds systems in tools like Airtable, SmartSuite, ClickUp, HubSpot, Make, Zapier, and many more. Proprium's team maps your processes, builds your workflows, automates your tasks, and trains your team. If you want systems done properly, visit proprium.agency. Well, I think that's very smart because simple, but also to scale, and it doesn't take a lot of time, and you're able to then focus on what you need to focus on. It sounds like it's very strategic, how you kind of approach that. And I'm wondering now, for one of the last questions that I have for our conversations today, for anybody considering HubSpot, before they kind of jump in, what would you give as an advice to somebody thinking about getting a CRM, a small business that's not sure, do they need it, do they not need it, and what should they maybe consider for them to understand if this is a fit for them?
Yeah, good stuff. Thing is that it's rather difficult to say upon someone when you are at the beginning of anything. You are afraid of everything. So you're afraid of new. You're afraid of unclear next steps which you're taking on. Thing is that when you're at the beginning, mostly you are most confident with old stuff or old tools that you are using already. But let's put on this way. If you ever heard for CRM, this is not the same thing like it was even 5 years ago. So this is something that is so flexible, so stretchy, that you can put in progress even for a small micro or nano companies with 5 or 10 customers, which will help you out to learn to have a very clean system of saving the informations. You'll never be so accurate with putting informations into places like you do with CRM. Never. I ended up with 2 or 3 systems of naming and mapping files, and I couldn't get it so clean and so nice like in CRM. Learn the CRM. CRM just you don't need to learn CRM. You just need to plug it, and everything he will do for you. And at a time when you're going to reach something, you will see that it's much easier to do it over CRM than over any kind of other tools. So this is my main recommendation. Fear not, just plug it into your system and put it on work. And when you gather the courage, open up and see what's inside, and you will be amazed. This is something that really I'm trying to explain to old school, those who are waiting the days to the pension, and they are the heaviest pupils for CRM. I don't need that. I just have my Rolodex and my notebook. This is my CRM. Okay, go ahead and find yourself into the 20,000 contacts into your mobile phone. How will it go? No way.
Definitely, I agree. I'm wondering, is there something that you maybe want to say to the audience that we didn't cover, or if you want to kind of describe where can they find you and how can they collaborate with you?
Okay, thanks. Mostly I'm hanging on LinkedIn. I have my own channel. Well, I do have Bones as a company, but I don't have so evolved a company profile. Mostly it's under my name, Nenad Kostć, and usually I'm putting there educational stuff. And if you read it or watch it, and if you like it, easily I will be more than flattered to DM me and see how I can do something for you. Just hanging around and sipping a coffee and something like that.
Amazing. I think that also showcases how much you believe in personal brand, because that's your main source of talking to potential clients and educating them. So I can confirm, if you DM Nenad, he will reply, and it's going to be a very pleasant conversation. So I really want to thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story, your lessons as an entrepreneur, and insights into building systems that really work. I have to say, it's been really, really inspiring to hear how you've grown your business and how you help others optimize theirs. So thank you so much for being my guest today on the show.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for inviting me. It was a really lovely chat with you.
Thank you. And for everybody who's still listening, thank you for tuning into this episode of Systems with Laura. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who's really ready to level up their business systems and entrepreneurial journey. And you can also find more episodes and resources over at Laura's Learning Lab. Until next time, keep experimenting, keep refining, and keep building smarter systems. See you soon. If you enjoy conversations like this, you'll love the Proprium Digital Network. It's a community where digital service founders get tools, templates, weekly insights, and behind the scenes guidance on building systems the right way. If you want to stop building systems alone and start building with support, join us at proprium.agency.